First, Jason Brickman and Mike Ayonayon in the backcourt. Up front, Jeo Chu, John Oduba, and Dave Ildefonso. Para naman sa Pangasinan, Nesed Gabo, Mike Di Gregorio, Michael Mabulak, Bonga Lanza, and Joray Napoles. And for Pangasinan, Coach Mike, still almost the same starting lineup from how they started, actually all the way since the play-in. So Coach Gerson sticking to this unit. Pero nakikita natin, no, there's a nervous kind of energy inside the venue. So it's very imperative for the Heatwaves to have a strong start to this ball game.
Indeed, you gotta match the energy of nitong ABRA Weavers in the same way that the Weavers played with a lot of it in game numbers 1 and number 2. Now you gotta do the same when you're playing at home.
The tip going to the side of ABRA. Nice play right off the bat. Jason Brickman setting up Dave Ildefonso.
Clearly, we talked about being disciplined defensively, much as we talked about the defense of Mike De Gregorio over Dave Ildefonso. That time around, he got caught on that backdoor cut by Dave Ildefonso off a beautiful feed by Jason Brickman.
Air ball on the free, galing kay Mike Di Gregorio. Nesed Gabo has mightily struggled in this series, and he's now tasked to guard Jason Brickman. John Oduba, binigay muna kay Mike Ayonayon. The Hesse, the drive, off the glass and in.
Well, isa na yan sa kailangan bantayan itong Heatwaves pagdating sa depensa. That middle lane of the floor, palaging open yan in most of the games that we've seen here in the playoffs, and that's something that you really have to have somebody in the middle of the paint to not allow those dribble penetrations.
Gabo, pass inside, Napoles in traffic, no good. Rebound controlled by John Oduba. Ayonayon, pull-up jumper, off the heel, rebound controlled by Joray Napoles.
Quickly, bumabalik agad sa depensa, at yun ang kailangan disiplina rin para dito sa Heatwaves. Kung may takbo, takbuhan natin. Kung wala, iset up natin.
Napoles drives baseline, shot down by Oduba. Shot clock winding down. Di Gregorio fires a free. It's good!
Remember, at the top of the coverage, Ken, we talked about quality of shots. Well, you see the shots right now. That, to me, is the very first good look that the Heatwaves took coming from Mike De Gregorio.
At yung gusto mong nangyari doon, he shot it with full confidence. 2 minutes gone by in the first quarter. Ayonayon, pasa palabas kay Oduba. And a foul against Joray Napoles.
Well, now really a good foul from Joray Napoles. You do understand na gusto niyang habulin lang yung tira na yun. Pero ito, yung drive down the middle, drew that secondary defender, that beautiful kick for Mike De Gregorio, who didn't matter and didn't even change his view on that shot, even with that defense of Mike Ayonayon.
LGR is the official outfitter of the MPBL. Sablay unang free throw ni John Oduba. But has really earned himself some starts here in these playoffs para dito sa ABRA.
Oh, yeah, indeed. Now, matter of fact, kung papansinin mo lahat na nagiging basket ni John Oduba in game number 1 and game number 2 of this series, a lot of them is because he moves without the ball. And so nakikita siya ng mga guardian niyang magagaling katulad ni Jason Brickman, even Marvin Taiwan. And it's just an easy find for the guards once you have John Oduba, napakalapit, lalo na kung nasa loob siya ng paint.
So actually, he's given 3 shots here. Mintis yung una, pasok yung pangalawa. 2 out of 3 on that trip. Pangasinan has yet to have that really strong start compared to what they had in a couple of games in those series against Nueva Ecija and San Juan. As Gabo way off on that jumper. Ildefonso in front of him. Di Gregorio momentarily escapes off the glass and in, plus a foul.
Ibang klase rin talaga ang patience ni Dave Ildefonso. I understood, palagi yung nade-depensa nito ni Mike, but that explosive first step allowed him to get that advantage right again down the middle of the lane na pinag-uusapan natin kanina. Diyan nakashoot si Mike Ayonayon, then there's another attack right through the gut from Dave Ildefonso.
Averaging 11 points per contest to go along with 12.5 rebounds in this series. Completes the 3-point play. 6 ang lamang ng ABRA.
At saka nagiging challenge talaga kay Dave yung field goal shooting niya all throughout this playoffs. But he really has, made it up on the defensive end, especially on rebounding.
Mabulak, papasok sa loob. Challenging the defense of J.O. Chu. Another rebound grab by Dave Ildefonso. Ayon. Kick out pass, Brickman, the fake. Draws closer, pull-up jumper is money. Strong start for the ABRA Solid North Weavers.
And they have had their ways of trying to get paint touches. That time it was Mike Ayon-Ayon's turn again, but kicked it out to Jason Brickman. Sabi ni Jason, may bantay tayo. Pasok muna tayo, lapit tayo, konting dribble, a couple, and a good looping shot coming from Jason Brickman.
Coach Gerson, bagang humiling ng timeout.
Lahat bumaba yung kanilang point scored. It's a -11 in terms of scoring, 11 lesser rebounds come game number 2. They had lesser fast breaks, and I'd like to attribute that to the energy brought about by the heat wave, especially in the start of the quarter. They really were just not able to sustain it entire game long in game number 2.
Galanza, sasalaksak. Mintis yung kanyang layup. Brickman tried to save it, but to the wrong guy. De Gregorio off to the races. Ball will stay with Pangasinan.
And when we talk about quality of shots, yan na yun, pinag-uusapan natin. I mean, you have the advantage running down the floor on a 2 versus 1. You've got 2 guys, Mike Mabulak and Mike De Gregorio on that end of the floor. Really couldn't get off a shot. Why? Because the defense has actually stayed home, defending the paint and manning where the ball is.
Gabo sa bandang kanan. Kaapasok lang ni Alin Bulanadi. As well as Vic Manuel. Manuel sa loob.
Ang pinaka-consistent na heat wave in this playoff. Where would the heat waves be if not for the performance of Vic Manuel? And he's definitely gonna need help from the other guys.
Ildefonso fouled hard by Mike Mabulak.
Now, there's one thing that Dave has changed, Ken, since game number 2. Ngayon talaga umaatake na straight to the cup.
Play of the game is brought to you by 747 Live. Dito ka sa legit, your game, your chance, your thrill. Only with 747 Live.
John Oduba, nakaabang siya doon sa ibabaw nung post-up na yun ni Vic Manuel. Halos binibigay na yung baseline kasi alam niyang may tutulong sa likod. Parating si J.U. Chu, napahirapan siyang tumira pero napakaaga nung release ni Vic Manuel. Enough to go past the defense of J.U. Chu and bank it in.
Dave, supply, 2 free throw. Pagsanhan, rejected by John Oduba.
Boy, the defense talagang pinahihirapan itong heat waves kung paano sila i-score.
Ayon turns the ball over. Another chance supposedly for the heat waves, but they cough it up as well. May hawak. Laban naman kay Vic Manuel off the basketball. Medyo nakikita mo, no, for Pangasinan, they're trying to push the pace every time they get turnovers. Kaya lang hindi sila na-convert so far.
Yeah, hindi ganun kadali. Lalo na if you go up against the ABRA Weavers. This is the #1 defensive team, allowing only 67 points for their opponents in every game that they played. And if Mike Ayon-Ayon is going to continue with this kind of shooting, it even makes you want to play both ends of the floor.
So that basket by Mike Ayon-Ayon makes him part of the lead company here.
But Mike Ayon-Ayon definitely has earned this moment for him. He's been so good for the Weavers. And just about
to add another title. Having won with San Juan. #61st member of the MPBL's 1,000-point club. So si Mike Ayon-Ayon. 8 puntos ang lamang pa rin ng ABRA. Bulanadi. Pabulak up top.
Doon ka talaga magcha-challenge naman kung ikaw ang Weavers. The heat waves, gusto ng heat waves na nililipat si Vic Manuel galing sa isang side ng floor papunta sa kabila at doon nila siniset up yung kanilang post-up. If you remember yung mga game winners ni Vic Manuel, kadalasan doon sa kanang poste naka-set up. Ito, siniset up naman nila sa kaliwa because either side of the floor on the post area, Vic is very efficient.
Alin against two defenders. Nice backdoor cut from Harvey Pagsanhan to free himself open underneath.
Second cleanest shot attempt that they've made only because it's assisted. Yun ang nagpaganda doon. Yung three-pointer ni Mike De Gregorio kanina galing sa pasa ni Mike Mabulak. And ito naman, yung basket na ni Harvey na nanggaling kay Alin Bolanat.
Defensive foul called on John Oduba. Assist of the game is powered by 747 Live. Dito ka sa Legit.
You draw 2 on the ball and talaga nga namang may malalibreng isa dyan. Halos tatlo pa nga si Oduba. Sinubukang lumabas para kunin si Vic Manuel pero nasa baba na si Harvey Pagsanhan para doon sa basket na yun.
Manuel, pasa kay Pagsanhan, titikada sa tres. It will pop out. Another rebound by Mike Ayonayon. Patino is in the ball game para sa ABRA. Dave, catch and shoot. Air ball. Rebound controlled by Bulanadi. Alin onto the front court. Nice screen by Mabulak. Steps into a free. Tatalbog palabas. Jeo Chu running the floor. Missing point blank. And Bulanadi snares another board.
Somebody's gonna run wide.
Sa poste Mabulak. Laban kay Ildefonso. Pasa palabas kay Manuel. Pupuko sa tres. Aalog ulit palabas.
Napakahalaga para kay Vic Manuel na makita pumasok yung 3 points na yun kasi mapipilitan ngayon si JHU na lumabas eh. Kaya nakita mo doon kahit na wala pang 3-point basket itong si Vic, talagang binantayan pa rin ni JHU kasi alam niya na may kamay sa labas itong si Vic Manuel.
That shot has been available all series long for Alfred Batino.
One of the more unsung heroes in my opinion here in the playoffs itong si Alfred Batino. The field goals really, it's 3 out of 12. Just 33% para dito sa, 25% rather, para dito sa Heat Waves. You can't have that if you go up against the Weavers.
That's actually been the story of the series, Coach Mike.
That's
because
right.
in game number 1, Pangasinan 28%. Game number 2,
31%.
Oo.
Yeah. And so they had almost the same number of attempts pero yung makes, +7 yung field goal makes para dito sa ABRA Weavers because they are more comfortable taking shots. This shot I like. I like that shot.
Bulanadi nails the free. And they pull to within 3, 15-12.
Tsaka napakahalaga, Ken, na tumira kung may pagkakataon ng isang Alin Bulanadi para makatulong sa scoring para dito sa Heat Waves.
Ildefonso tumanggap at may foul na pinito laban kay Harvey Pagsanhan. The Heat Waves are in penalty. 3-point shot is brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances.
Tsaka kita mo dito yung jump stop na yun at yung tira na yan para kay Alin Bulanadi. Walang pag-aalinlangan. Talagang, kailangan ko na makakuha ng basket. This is game number 3. This is now or never. And so you gotta make your shots. Big-time players playing big-time games. So is Alin.
What you like about Dave Ildefonso in this series, Coach Mike, is despite the struggle shooting the basketball, he's finding other ways to contribute and help the cause of his team. And that was on full display in game number 2 where he had a double-double again.
Oo. Alam mo, sa series ng Caloocan, he was shooting roughly about 29-30% in field goals. Pero pag tinignan mo yung assist, ang average niya doon 5 assists per game sa Caloocan. Pero dito naman, pagdating dito sa series against the Heat Waves, almost 12-13 rebounds per game. And talk about helping out in different ways from a star like Dave Ildefonso.
Nasa loob na rin si Ian Melencio. 3 minutes remaining in the first period. Bulanadi. Serrano kakapasok din para sa ABRA. Alin hit a 3 earlier.
Wow!
This time he drives! Goes airborne for the layup. Serrano answers with a 3-pointer.
Yan ang importante. Kung ikaw ang ABRA Weavers, you're visiting the home of the heat waves. You gotta answer back. Or how about that move by Alin Bolanadi earlier? Really just showing us he is intentional to score this game number 3.
Collado, pinasa muna kay Melencio. Has Gonzalez in front of him. Balls up. Left it short. Rebound control. He misses. Approaching the 2-minute mark of the first quarter. Melencio. Vic Manuel for 3. Still no go.
That's another good look for Vic Manuel. But you love that it's got a good line. You know, the hope really for the Heat Waves is eventually papasok rin yan 3 points na yan para dito kay Vic Manuel.
Serrano, hahanap ng papasahan. Pinuntahan si Gonzalez. That signature one-hander has been pretty much automatic.
Isa na yata yan sa pinakamahirap na pigilang Ira. I mean, it's tough. Ang taas na nung kamay, naka-floater ka pa. You see that big man in Raven Gonzalez with that soft push shot from that short corner.
Bolanadi fights a running Collado. And Ildefonso secures another board, his 4th.
Again, testament din sa depensa ng Weavers talaga. Kita mo, naiwan na yung bantay pero nag-aalinlangan ka pa rin. Kasi grabe ang depensa talaga sa loob ng paint. They have enough shot blockers to try and protect the rim. And interior passing has been a thing really right now for the Weavers.
What a pass from Taiwan. Feeding it inside to Raven Gonzalez.
8th assist of the game for the Weavers here in the first.
Malaking labang ng ABRA at 9 points. Turnover, Ildefonso. Pass to Serrano. In transition, lays it up and in. They extended to double figures at 11. This is a very important possession to close out the first quarter para sa Pangasinan. Manuel.
They're gonna need him to score.
Turnaround shot. It will not go in. Abra will milk the clock and go for the last.
See how they spread this floor. Leaving that right side for Encho Serrano and Batino to go on a 2-man game.
Serrano rejecting the ball screen. Drives right. He misses. Still enough time for Bulanadi. Alin gets to his spot for 3. He's fouled by Dave Ildefonso. Gusto mong nangyari doon, Bulanadi took his time. Sensed that there was still enough time to dribble it up. Fast Break the Game is brought to you by Extreme X Pop, personal karaoke speaker every day. Karaoke.
Pinag-uusapan natin na iba't ibang players para din sa Heat Waves na nagko-contribute in different portions of the game. We're seeing that right now in this first quarter alone. It started out with Mike Ayon. Eventually, David Defonso started joining in. Raven Gonzalez did his thing. And then now it's Encho Serrano. All in 1 quarter.
Just 3.5 points yung average ni Alin Bulanadi in the series. You saw there Kong JB Bernos making the trip here to Rosales. A far cry from his numbers, no, when he was with Basilan. Pero you like how he's trying to mix things up because for the most part, he's been reduced to a jump shooter in the first 2 games of the season.
Yun yung mga games na nananalo sila. Speaking of his scoring in the Nueva Ecija game number 3 and then quarter.
And of quarter number 1, labang ang ABRA over Pangasinan 25-17.
Kong JB Bernos talaga, no, inutos talaga niya at nandun siya sa practice. Kung hindi ka ba naman talaga mapipilitan mag-improve na nanonood si Kong JB sa'yo. Dave himself admitted he took a dip in form in terms of his shooting as well. But for Dave and Coach Yong, no, importante, 2-0 na sila kay Coach Mike.
Maraming salamat, Mika. Well, to your point, 12 out of 18 yung ABRA in game number 1, 9 of 16 in game number 2. And also, you know, with Coach Yong and Coach Jerson Cabiltes, ang dami na nilang pinagdaanan, no, na serye na nagtapat sila with Coach Yong for the majority of the time was an assistant coach for San Juan. And he knows the type of person Coach Jerson Cabiltes is. He will not back down from any challenge. Lalo ngayon, their backs against the wall in game number 3.
Gusto ko dun yung respetong binigay rin ito ni Coach Yong Garcia. You know, it's been a tough path through the playoffs para dito kay Jerson Cabiltes. But Coach Jerson has made sure that his team is going to be up to it. And even here, amidst this powerhouse team of the ABRA Weavers, they are actually doing their best to try and keep in step. Look, the games that they've lost, single digits lang eh. Nagiging difference ng mga losses na even you stretch it out to the elimination game just shows you the kind of scouting, the kind of preparation that the Heat Waves, through the coaching of Coach Jerson Cabiltes, has done this season for Pangasinan.
Whistle blown against Mike Di Gregorio. Coach Jerson Cabiltes certainly does not agree. He will use his challenge. And we'll find out in just a bit if he's right. Be right back for the result.
Upon review, the challenge was unsuccessful.
Unsuccessful challenge from Coach Jerson. What do you think, Coach Mike?
Well, he was all over definitely Marvin Taiwan. And it's been hindi ganun kadali na bantayan si Marvin Taiwan. Na kung titingnan mo yung fourth quarter ng game number 2, almost single coverage, walang ball screen. Break down sila ni Marvin Taiwan. His assists and his baskets have been very crucial in that end game for the Weavers.
That was a tough shot from Encho Serrano with Mike Di Gregorio all over him. Coming off the bench, meron ng 7 puntos.
And consistent to how they've really performed. It's just yung palitan ng tao at palitan ng kung sino ang tutulong para dito sa Weavers. Talaga makikita mo yung lalim ng bench nitong ABRA Weavers.
You could just sense in the eyes of the Weavers, Coach Mike, they're really going for the kill tonight. Kita mo yung intention nila, no, to really take it straight to the rack, having those point-blank shots.
Ito yung drive na yan para kay Encho Serrano. Nanghirap, no? There was defense all over the place, and that really boils down to individual skill set. He is just crafty at getting points through contact. Itong si Encho Serrano.
Approaching the 8-minute mark of the second quarter. Ayon, straight to the cup. Plays it up and in.
Ang naging problema sa depensa ng Heat Waves doon, yung baseline, libre, diretso para kay Mike Ayon. Walang tumulong para mag-switch or mag-recover doon sa drive ni Mike Ayon. Kaya naman napakadali ng basket na yon down the baseline side.
Galanza susugod.
That's one guy they really need to score, Ken.
Babasa 10 ang lamang ng ABRA, 29-19. Batino, pinapantayan ni Mike Mabulak. Serrano working on Mike Di Gregorio. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Three-pointer on its way, and it's gone from Encho Serrano.
Encho really meaning business right now here in game number 3. He wants to end this series tonight and be that much closer to what might be the very first 3-time champion here as a player in the MPBL. Kung magkakataon, ano?
Kung sakasakali, siya yung pinakauna.
Right.
32-21 after that Hesed Gabo jumper. Patino, one-on-one against Mike Mabulak. Mabulak standing his ground, coming away with a steal. Tatakbo si Maguliano. He will challenge Raven Gonzalez, who was caught out of position, and he will be called with a foul.
Definitely Coach Jerson Cabiltes loving that energy and that burst of speed and that explosion from Maguliano, because ang daming pagkakataon na itong si Maguliano makakascore at makakontribute para dito sa Pangasinan. And ang importante dyan, kahit may bantay, patuloy pa rin umaatake.
Free throws have been a problem too para dito sa Pangasinan. Although that's only their first miss tonight. This free throw is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas.
Kasi nung game number 2, 65% free throw shooting lang itong Pangasinan. They missed 7 free throws. And the margin of the game is roughly just 7 points. And so you can tell, ano kaya naging complexion kung naibasket lahat yun. That might have changed how that game was played, especially in the end game.
Serrano, another free. This time he will miss. Gabo in a running start. Hesed surveying the floor. drops it at the last second, and Bongalanza scores.
Now, I like that Hesed showed that he was really directly trying to get a layup attempt amidst those couple of...
Was definitely humbled by the series, their lowest scoring outputs this whole season, games 1 and 2, but they still take pride in the fact that they were number 3 in scoring in the regular season, so it's somewhere inside them, and he hopes that would come out tonight. He also talked about how they were able to limit ABRA to 66 with an average of 89, hence better defense for the Heatwaves. But he said today, you know, I didn't really use my drawing board in the dugout for the first time ever, because this is not about the X and the O's. This is about the fact that my boys work best when their backs are against the wall, even with a score like this. No? Sabi nga niya sa akin na daanan na namin lahat ng hirap dito sa playoffs, kaya alam namin na there is something inside us na pwedeng lumabas ngayon. Sabi din niya, pang 4 days daw ang kanyang dalang gamit. Ken, Coach Mike.
Maraming salamat, Mika. And at this point, if you're Coach Gerson, you're trying everything in your power na makaisa lang. Yun lang naman yung goal nila eh, at least for tonight, is to fight for survival and extend this to a game number 4 as we have a foul whistled against ABRA. Check out this assist of the game powered by 747 Live. Dito ka sa legit. Second time they have executed this kind of play, Coach Mike.
Yeah, once again, yung defender that time around si Bongalanza getting beat by Mike Ayon. Siya naman yung naging recipient nung pasa na yun off that backdoor cut on a beautiful alley-oop. Good basket though from Jorey Napoles. Ito yung sinasabi ko, na yung quality of shot taking hindi ganun kadali para dito sa Heatwaves, lalo na on a half-court set kasi nandun yung depensa. Ang hirap i-beat ng depensa nitong Weavers, especially solo coverage.
And nabanggit na rin ni Mika, no, how Coach Gerson alluded to that they had their lowest output for the entire season, really. 58 in game number 1, 59 in game number 2. So merong conscious effort tonight na pasparamihin yung possession. So given how they're trying to shoot as early on the shot clock, if there's a good shot available.
And I like how Mika on that report was really saying about Coach Gerson stating na when my boys are their backs against the wall, they perform really well. And so that's the hope right now para dito kay Coach Gerson and the rest of the Heatwaves. And you know, tell you frankly, he's gotten every technique there is to try and pump up his team in those couple of elimination games here in the playoffs. And so far, in both series, Coach Gerson has delivered.
Mintes yung tira galing sa labas. And Mabulak securing the rebound. A foul whistled against Jason Brickman.
And Mabulak patuloy pa rin talaga ang nagiging consistent pagdating sa rebounding. Hindi ganun katangkad compared kila Raven, kila Jeyo. Pero man, the way of how he boxes out yung mga big men na yan really shows you have to have a lot of activity on the rebounding end if you want to get that ball.
De Gregorio on the right side. Balik kay Hesed Gabo. Sa poste, Mabulak. 9 seconds on their shot clock. Skip pass to Galanza for free. It will roll out and a rebound controlled by the Weavers. CJ Austria getting some minutes. Brickman. The show by Napoles. Napunta kay David Defonso. Balik kay Jason Brickman. Ayon. Drop pass. CJ Austria. The hand tie move for the basket.
And that to me is another guy that stays ready. CJ Austria, elimination game, memorable. He took on Vic Manuel. And right now, just being active on that offensive end.
Play of the game is brought to you by 747 Live. Dito ka sa legit, your game, your chance, your thrill. Only with 747 Live.
Yung tulong sa depensa ang nawawala pagdating sa atake inside the paint para dito sa sa Heatwaves. And once na nakapasok na, hindi na alam kung paano yung rotation, kaya naiiwan yung isang Weavers na libre.
Dave, really aggressive. Nakita mo nung first 2 games, lalo nung game number 1, he's just trying to pick his spots. Ngayon, mas decisive siya sa mga gusto niyang gawin, Coach Mike.
Yes. If I recall correctly, halos lahat ng naging attempts ni Dave right now is purely inside the paint.
Lakay is in the building. Tubong Ordaneta, Pangasinan. Danny I.
And why not? Ang ginaiba lang dito dito siya nag-cheer ngayon para sa Weavers, no? Because of DI, his son, playing for them.
Hindi naman nalalayo yung Urdaneta dito no? So, siguro
Yeah.
may time din silang dumaan muna sa...
So, you would have done, ganun ang gagawin mo kung ikaw naglalaro sa di ba? Bibisita ka rin sa where you grew up.
Encho Serrano,
Good defense.
blocked from behind. Can't secure the rebound though, so Abra still with the basketball. 3 seconds remaining on a shot clock. Long free, Serrano, air ball. And a shot clock violation whistled against Abra.
Well, in that situation, gusto ko yung naging depensa nitong Heatwaves. Vic Manuel and Joray Napoles staying inside the paint and leaving that solo defender, if I recall correctly, was Alin Bolanadi against Encho Serrano, trusting that Alin is going to be able to cover for that right-hand drive by Encho Serrano, and so he just settled for that jumper outside.
Battle of tacticians, Coach Gerson and Coach Yong. 36-27, Pangasinan trailing by 9.
Good read. Nasa baba ka, ikaw si Joray Napoles, mas malaki ka kaysa dito kay CJ Austria at yung angulo hindi ganun kagandahan na alam mong diretso papasok sa yung bola. Pasok ka sa loob ng paint, pakita mo yung kamay mo, which is exactly ginawa ni Vic Manuel. And now in comes Mark Yee.
Activated in game number 2. Tuloy-tuloy pa rin siya dito in game number 3 as Napoles missing the first free throw.
Ang laki ng naitulong niya ni Marquis no, sa second half, no?
Yeah.
Yung veteran leadership at saka yung hustle inside the paint.
Again, free throws will be key for Pangasinan. Napoles coming out empty on that trip. Encho Serrano, Dave Ildefonso, J.O. Chu, Jason Brickman, and Marquis on the floor for the Weavers. J.O. Chu, skip pass to Marquis. Gives it up to Dave Ildefonso. He attacks once more. Pivots his way inside. No whistle. But was there a foul or was it a shot clock violation? It was a foul. Tama, may foul, no? Offensive foul.
Yeah, offensive foul. As that fake by Dave really got blocked, Jay tried to recover it. Pero sa ilalim, I think
Si J.O. Chu.
si Jay Chu, right?
His parents making...
So I'm always very proud of Jay. I mean, so simula, nahirapan sa mga physicality ng game, but right now, he is holding his own against these Heatwaves.
Esed Gabo, Harvey Pagsanhan, Jory Napoles, Vic Manuel, and Alin Bunanadi. Ang 5 naman para sa Pangasinan. At the moment, the Heatwaves hindi makalapit. Still down by 9. Dave fouled by Vic.
Kung merong isang bagay na ginagawang maganda ng Pangasinan ngayon dito sa second quarter, yung pagdepensa ng mga perimeters nila. Now, like in the first quarter, 3-4 shots from the perimeter ang naibasket ng ABRA Weavers. Right now, hindi nila inaalaw yun, kaya they're quick to do short closeouts o pagbantay kagad pag nandun sa perimeter. But this is one of those few times right now in the second quarter na nakabasket from the perimeter. Ito si Jason Brickman.
Made it look easy on that jumper. Gabo, the cut again, Pagsanhan. Scoring some points on the interior. Cuts it back down to 9.
And so far, that's how they've beaten the defense of the Weavers. You know, adding that weak side action. Kanina, si Harvey Pagsanhan ang gumawa nun earlier. And ngayon, patuloy pa rin niyang ginagawa para dito sa Heatwaves.
Mark Yee swishes in the 3. And Abra is now up by a dozen.
This is why it's so tough to put in a marquee. Coverage defensive-wise, nagkakaroon ka ng challenges.
Manuel finally hits a trifecta from the left wing.
Pawian lang ng mga veterano, Ken. Parehong veterano tumitikada sa tres ngayon.
Marquis tries another one. This time, it will bounce out. Bulanadi.
Good pull-up.
Pabandang tira. Ildefonso the rebound. His 9th to go along with his 6 points.
That was a good pull-up by Alin Bolanadi. That was within his range. Got past that defense. Napalakas lang talaga yung tira niya.
Encho Serrano with 8 on the shot clock. Dave again puts it on the deck.
Yan ang point of emphasis I want to talk about defensively. As you see this 3 right here by Markey after that. 3-9 as we see Big Manuel also returning the favor for the Heat Waves. Lahat ng 3-9 with Dave Ildefonso papunta. Alam mong papunta sa kaliwa pero pag nandun na, ang hirap pa rin pigilan.
Brickman, Mintes, Manuel grabs the board. Pangasinan needs to score here. Vic Manuel on the right wing. Off the bounce. One-hander. Doesn't get the friendly roll. Markey the rebound. And Abra really doing a good job holding Pangasinan to 1 shot. In fact, wala pang offensive rebound dito ang Pangasinan.
Correct.
Encho Serrano spilling his way inside for the bucket.
They really have allowed ang tinatawag na isang beses ka lang titira at pagkatapos nun wala na. Kasi kung may nakukuha ng rebound, yan ang naging philosophy nitong ABRA Weavers on the defensive end.
Di Gregorio floats it up and in off the glass.
Shots like this are never easy, especially inside the paint. But Mike Di Gregorio just continues to attack downhill in the hope of getting a basket inside.
But if you're Pangasinan, Coach Mike, you can't afford to exchange back baskets like this.
True.
And so far, hindi pa talaga sila makalapit eh. Manuel, sidestep. He puts it in. As Abra will sue for time. 31.8 seconds remaining.
Kasi Gabo, quick to acknowledge that Vic Manuel was on the other end. I love that Vic did not settle for that 3. Instead, attacked inside. Looked at the clock. Sabi niya may pagkakataon pa kami ng
And Vic Manuel. And mind you, Coach Mike, the great story about these two guys is that pareho sila sa mga less heralded schools na masasabi natin, not from the UAP, not from the NCAA, but they've carved out a role in the PBA and now here, still going strong here in the MPBL.
And that really is patuloy na pursuit mo lang sa kung ano mga aspirations mo. And mind you, players nowadays might be wanna going up for possibly to big schools, but that doesn't stop you from working on your own and trying to better your craft para lang ma-achieve mo yung ina-aspire mo.
Abra clinging on to this 7-point lead. About a 7-second differential between shot and game clock. Ayon working on Mike Di Gregorio. Screen by Ildefonso. The switch by Maguliano. Dave lost it. Huge stop by the Heat Waves.
Well, yung pasa kasi medyo behind kay Dave Ildefonso on that kick by Mike Ayon. And so you gotta forget about that now and you gotta get this stop. Meron kang 11 seconds para dumipensa kung ikaw ang ABRA Weaver. Samantalang kung ikaw naman ang Heat Waves, pagkakataon maibaba itong lamang na ito ng 7.
Yeah, yung 7 points. If they manage to score here, will make this a 2-possession ball game entering the half.
At saka importante ito kasi pagbalik natin sa third quarter, I think the first possession is gonna go Pangasinan's way. So this is very important set for the Heat Waves.
So far, only 2 turnovers. Kaya lang, di talaga sila makascore. Bulanadi, line drive, no. Di Gregorio, still enough time. Puts it up, too strong. And that will end the first half, where Abra really threw in those haymakers.
This time he understands, picks his spots, creates for his own. Otherwise, he also moves without the ball on this fast break on a beautiful feed. And really just this kind of contribution from if you're Encho Serrano.
And at the half, it's Abra over Pangasinan, 43-36.